it's Touhou time. We're back with more Touhou's, I think, probably. Anyway, let's go on Unimaginable Freaky Obituary version 1.2. Okay, wait, Obituary. That's the thing you write after someone dies, right? Yeah, I think so. I'm not very smart. I don't know things. Okay, we have the Touhou music. Let's go full screen. Can we go full screen general? There we go. Let's do the thing. Screen adjustment ratio, confirmation on. Okay. Got the music messages. Wait for voice. Do they have voices? Uh-oh. Audio. Sorry. I apologize, but the voices have to go. I'm the only voice here. You don't get a choice in that. If you want their original voices, you're gonna have to do it yourself. I'm so sorry. They all have the characters that you can't see because I'm obstructing the thing. They have all these words, wonderful, but I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. I'm not sorry at all about what I'm gonna do here. Anyway, let's begin. New game. It happened when I was an only child. When I was only a child. Not an only child, that's a very different sentence. The Stowaway. Written by Absolute Reason. I walk up dark, cramped surroundings. Damp air smelled mold and covered my curled body like a heavy blanket. Heavy blankets are comfy, but this is not very comfy type of blanket though. It's moldy and wet. The wooden walls of this crate hugged me tightly. I didn't know if anyone was outside. If I was found, I was sure to be thrown away without mercy. Aw, I wasn't supposed to be here. I held my breath. I stood still, so still as if I were made of stone. I strained to listen for any sign of threats. Wood creaked and groaned. Waves crashed. Rain hit glass. Nothing that could be a threat. I moved from my crouch position, carefully placing my hand on the ceiling of this crate. I took a shallow inhale. Slowly and carefully, as not to make any noise, I pushed the lid off. Right as I was about to poke my head up from this crate, I heard a long, shrill noise that sliced through the tranquil silence like blade to flesh. It was loud, so very loud. It sounded almost as if the howling wind had cried out in pain. My thin, weak body rattled and trembled. Every hair on my body stood up. My own body betrayed me and refused to move. No. I fought with myself. You must run. Run. No, hide. Run. Hide. Run. Run. And hide. Investigate. You must investigate. You fight your instincts. Yes, I thought, I will investigate. I slowly lumbered across the ship's wooden floors. The ship now began thrashing from side to side, throwing cargo and myself against the walls. No matter how much this force tried to stop me, I pushed on, walked, and climbed until I reached the surface of the ship, the deck. There, just over the horizon, I saw a small lifeboat. It was hundreds of meters away by now, and this is loud. Okay, the crew must be on it. I'm guessing I'm just gonna have to surf. I was truly alone on this ship. Oh well, you can't be a stowaway if you're the only one on the boat. What was I to do? This vessel was bound to sink. I was bound to die as I lived, alone. The impending doom suddenly struck me with the same force that waves crashed against this ship. I fell to my knees, clutching my chest. Visions of the afterlife appeared in my mind. Was I to reach heaven? No. Hell? Perhaps I was already living in it. I sobbed and threw my head back. Facing the dark sky, I screamed. I'm not gonna scream because it's kind of late, and I don't like screaming. Help me! I wailed. Please help me! I can't scream. I heard a reply. Oh, okay. A long, shrill noise sliced through my desperate cries like blade to flesh. It was louder, ever so much louder than anything I could imagine. It sounded almost as if the howling wind had heard my cries of pain. My head slowly turned towards whatever made the noise. It's the Kraken. Hello. A gargantuan beast appeared over the water. Looks kind of dopey. I'd be a big friend. It was pitch black and had hundreds of lanky tendrils that swayed back and forth like a malicious spider's web. It had a jaw lined with razor-sharp swords for teeth. The beast's massive body parted the waves as it moved. It moved towards me. My eyes followed its form as it approached. 500 meters away. 100 meters away. 50 meters away. Strangely, I didn't feel the need to flee. Death was approaching me, but who was I to fight it? I was just a little stowaway girl. I sat staring blankly at the deck floor. A shadow loomed over me, and I felt the warm breath of the beast on my back. Its gaping maw leaned over my feeble body. Its grime and slobber fell in clumps around me. In the corner of my eye, I saw the teeth. Boulder-sized teeth that must have ached to be in my neck. I was to meet my end. For the last time, the beast made a long, shrill noise that sliced through my neck. Exactly like a blade to flesh. Oh, it was painful, ever so much more painful than I could ever imagine. It sounded almost as if the howling wind had claimed my soul. Oh, that's a nasty sound effect. Uh-oh. I dared not look up. But we're gonna have... Okay. Nighttime scary tales around the bonfire. Murasa. Someone named Murasa. Tell the scary tale. Let's give her... Give her the kid voice. Scared the hats off you, didn't I? Oh. Yoko whimpers and hides behind Ichirin. Nazun sits with her arms crossed, lips pursed, while Sho and Unzan are shielded behind her. The mouse's small stature did little to hide the giant and the tiger. Nazun's lips twitched and she sniffed. Her hands were balled into fists. That's not funny, Murasa. It's not meant to be funny. See, look, I ain't alive anymore, am I? That's why I'm a damn ghost. That's proof. Sho speaking. Ghost? Where? Murasa blinks. Hi, newsflash, hey buddy. I'm no ifs and buts about it, dead. Choked and keeled over. Deceased. I can flow around, shoot dark Danmaku, and you ain't seen me breathing air, are ya? Duh, I knew that. Oh wait, did I mix up? I'm probably mixing up the voices. This is gonna be very hard without sprites. Just going by the name tags. Noor reels her head back and laughs loudly. Boring. You call that ghost story scary? Byakuren. Byakuren, that's the shrine one? The nice one. Now, Nuit, if you want to sass off for a storyteller like that, surely you may surprise us with your own scary story. Anyhow, who else? Not you, Nuit. Wants to share? Backward turns to Murasa, clasping her hands together. She had a wide grin, as if you just told her the most delightful thing she's ever heard. Oh, I nearly forgot to give the verdict. That was a wonderful story, Murasa. Oi, it was supposed to be scary, not wonderful. Marmizo places a hand on her chest and laughs. Scary, huh? Nah, such a story is scary to y'all. And perhaps the story I have in mind will horrify you so terribly that you shall have night terrors for dozens of years. Whatever you and Noah could dream up would not even closely compare to the tale I'm imagining. Noah let out a humph and leaned forward. She put her hands on her hips.
Okay, rickety old geezer, what's your story then? If you want to be all smart-aleck about it.
Mademoiselle drew from her pipe. She crossed her legs and took a moment to adjust herself. She began. Shrouded in mystery, its true identity is mystified, not unlike the myth itself. Noah leaned forward some more, eyebrows raised.
Huh, even lesser known than my true form.
That's right. It's terribly scary. So scary, it'll even haunt you in your nightmares.
Yeah, as if.
Mademoiselle chuckled. Alright, would you like to bet on that?
Sure, I'm used to the supernatural. And okay, ghost stories aren't my thing, but even so, I could come up with a way better story than you anyhow.
Is that so?
Yeah, try your hardest, Granny. Let's see it.
Alright then, but don't say I didn't warn you, Noah. From seemingly nowhere, Mademoiselle pulls a large leather-bound book. She did so, and clouds of dust scattered across the ground. Nazu and Kyoko coughed. Mademoiselle dramatically opens the book to a specific chapter, flipping the large yellow papers loudly. As Mademoiselle scanned the pages, she began to read the tale aloud. The atmosphere became more hostile as the words flew out of her mouth. The Elegy of the Forgotten Kirin Spirit, written by the M3DS. The Meds, if you will. The story begins with someone staring out in the monochromatic room, a painting of a faceless girl in red and white presenting an erhu fashioned on the wall. An erhu? Erhu. What's an erhu? I need to look that up. Oh, okay, it does the thing where when you lose focus it does the music. Okay, Google, but not the AI thing. What is an erhu? Oh, no, I use DuckDuckGo apparently. An erhu is a Chinese two-string bowed musical instrument. Okay. I'll heard something new. An erhu fashioned on the wall. Okay, cool. Cool little thing. A musical instrument. Okay, it's... Okay, got it. Thank you, thing. Another painting. Two girls who were long-time friends. The same faceless girl from before standing between them. Her face stricken with a subtle melancholy. Though if you look closely, you can see a sense of melancholy on her face as if she has seen happier days. Ray moves always melancholic apparently. A vision struck our protagonist, the three girls posing in front of a mirror, yet only two reflections displayed. She fell to the floor and wept, covering her face with her bare hands. The visions grew more distorted with time. A barely visible face began to taint the painting from before. Without a pause, the sound of the off-key erhu filled the room, piercing into the listener like knives. That makes the creepy noise. A silence. The musician trembled as the words, "I hate them," repeated under her breath, growing in intensity until her whisper became a shout. "I hate them! Both of them! Why have the gods disgraced me?" As her bitter jealousy echoed across the room, a picture frame of her and the other two girls was on the floor, while the glass frame was cracked in half. The area was once again met with a brief pause, until she stood up and walked a few inches until she stopped at the center of the room. She asked, "Why have you forgotten me? Won't you please remember me?" With a blank, yet sorrowful expression on her face. Without notice, her face reappeared, but instead of her usual melancholy look, it was replaced with a gaping black void, making it appear as if she's a hollow figure. The background was pitch black. The uncanny nature of her appearance only intensified when what seemed like gibberish read, 8DE18C8E2097D9. The code along with the girl started to grow more distorted, as if it were corrupted. As her face drew closer, everything was growing dark yet again. Yet the last thing that was heard was...
Will you remember me, even after all this time?
Before it came to realization, her presence had vanished, as if it was all an illusion. Having to vanish without a trace, her presence could never be seen by anybody ever again. Thus ends the tragic tale of the forgotten Kirin spirit, Rin Satsuki. Okay. Nura, Ichiro, and Kyoko grasped at each other desperately. They in unison let out a skull-piercing squeal in horror. When the screaming had settled, Mamozo was laughing in a light-hearted manner. See, I told you it was going to scare ya.
Fine, I admit it. I was scared the whole time.
As a thought.
I never knew a faceless ghost could be so horrifying, even for me. I'm trembling, honestly. This will definitely haunt me in my nightmares tonight.
Rasa crossed her arms, piping up.
Be by me of the unknown herself, eh? The whole freak's scared of the very thing she claims to know all about.
Noah's bottom lip twitched.
Hey, old freak, don't feel so bad about it. At least it didn't cry like a baby.
Without a word, Noah slid off of the log she was sitting on and laid on the ground. The rest of the group looked down at her, puzzled as she hugged her knees onto her chest. She sniffled. Aww. Mamozo clapped her hands together, laughing heartily. Then it appears I was right all along. As the campfires continued to crackle and pop, all the other members at Myoren had told all their cryptic, haunting tales. Except for their Buddhist caretaker, Byakuren, who, after experiencing this tale, was preparing for the role after Mamozo had finished her duty in delivering a disturbing tale for everyone to hear. Byakuren's smile beamed like the sun, piercing the surrounding darkness.
Such creative stories, everyone. Is it my turn now?
The gallery had reserved responses, between Mamozo smirking and Kyoko still shivering in fear. There seemed to be no rejection. Sitting silent for a moment, her response was monotone, fit with a sheepish smile.
I've got nothing.
Placing her hand on Byakuren's shoulder, Murasa piped up.
Oi, why don't you tell us about the time you were in Makai? Being salted's pretty scary, I know. Wonderful idea, Murasa. Oh, but where to start?
Kyoko hugged the pillow, rubbing her eyes. Chiming in from behind her pillow, Kyoko's interest was piqued.
From the beginning. But make it quick, I'm sleepy. Well, maybe I'll have to skip over a few details here and there, but I'll see what I can do.
Waiting for everyone to settle down, she shut her eyes and began. Of Flesh and Blood, written by Every Eye. Every... They called me a demon in human form, treated me like I would take their firstborn from them. It was horrible. So they locked me away in Hakkai, deep within the depths of Makai. It was harsh. Every breath filled my lungs with their unearthly miasma. Almost as if the very world around me could have melted like a summer-bound ice cube. The sky's deep red, the very world screaming in agony as it bled out, not a single bandage to conceal their wounds. Hokkai was my own personal corner of Makai, alone. Only the voices of heaven and hell could speak to me, lacking kindness, nor with any frequency. It was, to put it, unmatched solitude. Strength and magic could barely hold me together, as it felt every realm wanted a different part of me, wanted to tear me apart, to put me back together again. My flesh was stripped from my body, my bones misshapen and rearranged, only to return back to normal soon. There was no giant demon to fight, no hellbound creatures lurking in the darkness. Only the unsatisfying hum of being utterly alone could keep the silence at bay. I watched the world bleed out. Years passed as the blood flowed back into it, only to be exsanguinated once again. Hawkeye's fire took no prisoners, and I was no exception, watching my body burn into ash. Yet, I lived on. A horrific cycle of death and rebirth, torturous in nature, as the everlasting darkness only became more unfriendly. I lost track of time, gathering piece by piece of cursed Makai material to create my sutra scroll, my only lantern in the deepest of caves. My spells were refined like a sharpened sword, until there were none left to learn, solitude setting in again. Dark, darker, yet it only got darker. That was, until you all showed up to rescue me. Spreading her arms skywards, her scroll formed a rainbow above her head.
And I'll do it all again if it meant saving more yokai.
Aw, happy endings. Yay. Itching.
That's terrible. I'm glad we were able to help you.
Cross and odds.
Man, it's real tough not being a human anymore. Do you ever wish you could go back to being human?
Byakuren paused. I wouldn't be sitting here chatting with you all if I was. Ross approaches Byakuren and wraps her arms around her in a tight hug. Hugs her nice. She returns the hug.
I'm happy too.
Kyoko also approaches Byakuren and hugs her from behind. One by one, everyone moves to embrace her. The group held the hug for some time. Hello? Who's there? Who was the one screaming? Hello? I'm here to rescue you. I want to go home. If you aren't coming out, you owe me a fee.
Ah, damn, was that the Shrine Maiden?
Yeah, it's red, so it has to be Akurei-Reimu. Quick, snuff out the campfire. Camo fire. She'll never get off our tails about this. Aw, hugs are nice, look at that. Thank you for playing. I mean, it's reading, that was the play. This is just the adds that, and then Angel Freak You Bitch. Okay, well, this was not anything I was expecting. It was nice. This was cute. I enjoyed it a lot. This was cute. I loved it. Okay. That's the end of an Unimaginable Freak You Obituary. It was none of those things, I think, but it was cute. It was fun. Good job to the authors. And okay, bye.